first grade, I saw two little boys talking to each other in Street Fighter language. Atatadugen! One person said. The other one said, Adugen! Adugen! And I was there, and I went up to them and I said, Yoga Baya. The two boys, they looked at me, they looked at each other, and started running away, saying some weird stuff. I don't know, I think they called me crazy. But that was the first time that I heard anybody talk in English. What I heard, Atatadugen was, I want to play with some guns. What I heard was, Adugen was, I want to too, I want to too. And I went up there and I said, Yoga Fire. The contest chair, the chief judge, fellow Toastmasters. I was extremely ashamed by that incident. I had no knowledge of English. So I want to share with you on how I became the master of international communication. Now, ever since that event, I wanted to become a perfect English speaker. I wanted to become a perfect speaker of Korean. So when I was in school, when I learned English, I would focus on learning perfect grammar, learning amazing pronunciation, and just using English, and using words, and phrases, and sentences in the most beautiful, florid, and amazingly possible. So whenever I learn anything from English class and come home to do my homework in English, and I'd sit there and write these beautiful passages saying A, B, C, D, E, F. My dad would come up to me and he'd say, James. I'd look up to him and say, Dad, what the is James? It's supposed to be James. James. James, you don't understand. Whatever, Dad. Juno, are you doing your 숙제 your 엄마 told you to do? Dad, it's 숙제, it's homework. 엄마 is mom. Use English, please. But I found that kind of funny, you know, that he would emphasize homework and mom to me by using Korean in that sentence. So I go to school the next day and I'd go to my Korean friend and say, yo, what's 노파 남자? Which would be, yo, what's up, man? And man is namja. So, and then I would go to it, yo, did you do your 숙제 that your 엄마 told you to do? You know, I thought it was really funny, and that's when I realized, oh, so you don't need perfect grammar. You don't need amazing pronunciation. You need to be able to use these language skills. You need to be able to sometimes use bad grammar to be able to effectively communicate whatever you want. So I respected my dad from that moment on because I thought he had really amazing use of his language skills. Let me explain. So you know in the States, when you get pulled over by the cops, the number one thing you should say is, do you know English? Because when the police officer doesn't understand you, they can't give you a ticket. But all the Koreans in America, they would say, police officer, we know English, we so sorry. But my dad, he knew that the police officer is gonna know, so he'd be up there and he'd be like, police officer, I have no English. Which means he's really bad at English. I mean, he was pretty bad at English. But I don't know if he did this intentionally or unintentionally, but one thing that comes up to mind is when we're in New York, we're driving, my dad was driving, and he couldn't find a parking spot. We were very late to a musical that we're supposed to go to, and sometimes he has a really straight face. He's really mad because he couldn't find a parking spot, and he said, everybody, get out of the car. I'm like, Dad, why? Because I need to find a fucking spot and fuck the car right now. I need to fuck it. Okay, you do whatever you want. Do whatever you want with the car. Park it, whatever. We all got out of the car and ran as quickly as possible. I I don't know if he did this intentionally or unintentionally, but he got the message across. I mean, he was telling us to get out of the car because he needed to go do something, and we did. So as members of an international organization called Toastmasters, our goal is to effectively use our oral communication skills. We don't need to be perfect speakers of English. We don't need to be perfect speakers of Korean. We need to be perfect communicators and be able to use wrong grammar, be able to use wrong pronunciation to help us communicate and use the tools and the mediums of communication, which is language. And that's what my father did, and that's how I learned, and that's what my mother did as well. So I'd like to end off with this one story, which my mom used. So she'd get pulled over by the cops too, right? She's driving, and she said one phrase, and she was let go. I don't know what she said, but she said, pulled down the window, and she said, policeman, see me one time. I'm like, did you try to say 한 번만 봐주세요? Give me a break. I had no idea, but eventually it worked. She was let go by the cops. So here, I'm asking the chief judge and all the judges that if I made any mistake, please see me one time. And thank you very much for everything.